Hey everybody, it's Stephanie with Bookshelf Banter, and I kind of had to change my setup a little bit because I've been having some ridiculous technical problems, which is why it's taken me so long to get my response to Crystal's Ruby Red Challenge up. Okay, so first things first. Crystal, you wanted to know what I thought of Ruby Red, and we like to be honest at Bookshelf Banter. And, oh my gosh, I need to plug in my computer because it's about to die. I have my notes on it. Okay, so, honestly, it took me a really long time to get into it. And by the time I got into the book, it was almost the end. And then the book just kind of ended. Like, normally you can kind of tell when a book's about to wrap up a little bit. This one, there was none of that. So I was a little underprepared. And then, yeah, yeah. So, will I read the sequel? Yes. But it's not going to be, like, on the top of my to-read list. Okay, so your question number 2 is if I were a time traveler, where in the world would I want to live? And London is, like, the first thing that comes to mind. And it's, yeah, London. And then your number 3 question is what time period would I want to go back to? And since I'm not too fond of chamber pots, corsets, or, just general lack of hygiene, I would want to go back to yesterday in London, because that's not cheating, or even earlier today. That is a time period, because that is 2012, and they're 5 hours ahead of me, and so, anyway, I can't even figure out what time that would be, but I would go back to earlier today, or I would also kind of want to go back to, like, the Regency era, or, like when Victoria and Albert were around, or even like the late 1880s, but then you have to worry about Jack the Ripper. But let's hope that I wouldn't end up in the places where he was doing his ripping, because, well, I mean, I think they were like skeevy parts of London. I'm not really sure. So your question number 4 is what 3 skills would I want to take with me? And this was kind of the hardest one for me to think of an answer to, but I'm going to go with real life things real life skills that I actually wish I had and that are attainable. Well, not really, because I'm not going to have enough time. I won't put the time into it. But if I did, then these are attainable. I would like to be an archer. Like, I would love to learn archery. That's something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. And it's not just because of, like, Katniss and Hunger Games. Not that. And then horseback riding. Like, I wish I was a pro at that. That would be awesome. And not English style, but, you know, Western. I was going to say cowboy. Western style. Because then I could be like Legolas in Lord of the Rings, where I'm riding a horse and galloping and I'm shooting my arrows. And then 3, I want trapeze skills, which is actually a goal that I am about to work on because I'm about to take lessons next month. So a real life goal is about to be met, and I'm so excited. Okay, so number 5, what 1 object would I take? And I would take one that does 2 things. Well, more than 2 things. I'd want a camera that has video capabilities so that I could have... I'm fascinated by dialect and accents, so I would want to, when I go back, like if I went back to the Regency era, I want to be able to videotape, or at least record, how people are sounding and talking, or like mannerisms. I mean, it would be so cool to have video footage of their mannerisms back then, and just to see if, you know, how we have a perception of what it was like back then, but it would be cool to see what it actually was like back then. And even, like, to go back to, like, King Henry and see if he was as giant as he is portrayed, or King Henry VIII, and see if he's as big as he's portrayed in, you know, movies, and see if Queen Elizabeth really did have that lovely, you know, her hair was really like that. Sometimes I worry that my hairline might be a little bit too similar. Ugh. And I don't know, I just think it would be really cool just to see and hear what all is going on. So, I hope those answers work. And, yeah, I hope that this video actually works. Please, Jesus. Oh my goodness. Okay, bye.